declaration that he was stepping down for Tinubu, wow, it was quite some interesting thing to look at. And then when Badro said that, I think those were the two major things that struck me. They kind of gave an inkling that okay, we are ready to go with the person we think can win in 2023. It's not just about anybody being on. We need somebody that can get this done for us.
All right, Chibuzo, for me, what struck me was something that happened earlier today at the convention when they were counting Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu's vote, and they got to 1,000. At that point, the wife of the president, Mrs. Aisha Buhari, now called the convention officials to say, please, at this point, let a woman also count. And I was saying, so you want gender parity at this occasion? But what struck me is this: yesterday, the wife of the president was seated when the only woman presidential aspirant announced withdrawal. There was no reaction from her.
You wanted to cause a scene? No, that was with the aspirant, and she took her.
I thought she said we not go agree or we not go agree.
She can't do that. She's first lady.
Justice for women.
See, she's a first lady, and there's a kind of attitude you expect from a first lady. She can't go there and start messing around in the stage there. Okay, she can talk to her in the background, but she cannot go there and start saying no. She's not. But she had already made her point even before now. Remember, she when they were discussing the electoral bill or something, looking for the personality.
Yeah, she went to the National Assembly to make
with
case.
the vice president's
party secretary.
So she has been trying to push for women. So I'm not surprised that she said a woman should follow in doing that counting. She has been maintaining that women should be involved, and that's a good campaign.
I think lastly, when former presidential aspirant, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, was called, one was the last aspirant to be called to address the delegate. When he was called up to the podium, there was this music they played for him. Is the wave of the moment, Buga. And for some 5 minutes or so or more, the supporters did not allow him to.
Down there.
You understand? He has to be telling them, please calm down. Let me talk. Let me talk.
That time he came to the podium, I'm sure that his opponents would have shivered a bit in their seats because but somebody made a point where we were discussing it that these people who are shouting, who are not allowing him to speak, are not delegates. Delegates are seated somewhere. These are just who are the
I said the same thing.
Other people who don't have the card. Those who had the card were sitting somewhere, waiting for the whole process. And some of them, from what I can deduce, didn't bother whether he spoke the first. But that speech he made was like, I told someone that's like an Obama speech, Obama-like speech. It's kind of presidential speech that can take you anywhere. But Nigeria is a different kettle of fish. And obviously those who were voting had already closed their mind and they were focused on where the vote was going. Otherwise, it was just based on, on what they spoke on the ground. He will win that election with a landslide. Okay.
Well, so people say oratory skill don't win election.
It does. In some times.
Knowing how to speak English.
So look at this man in Zelensky. It was his mouth that he was in politics for just 3 years in public space for just 3 years. Yes, so then because of his way he could talk, and then he was able to convince. So all the campaign, convincing people to buy into your idea.
Obama, same thing.
Clinton,
when he opened up for one of the, I think it was 2004 convention of the Democrat Party, 2004. So when he was still senator, that brought him to limelight. And when he gave his major speech during the convention day,
even Clinton
or something else.
Look at even Clinton, who did have a strong political background, but they used what was Obama, the son of a Kenyan man, immigrant, and an international mother or thereabout. He would say he didn't have a political family like the Kennedys and the Bushes, but he used his mouth, his oratory, his capital to get to the presidency. Same thing for Clinton too, a bit. He was also such an eloquent speaker. But Nigeria is a different kind of beast. Sometimes Nigeria is like what they shake in Ghana must grow.
They are still evolving.
We have our guests, stakeholders speaking for us also weigh in on this issue. Like I said from the beginning of this program, that the convention has come and gone, and there is an outcome. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been elected as the presidential candidate of the ruling APC for the 2023 general election. Before I bring in my guest, let me ask you, gentlemen, is this what APC needs to retain power come 2023? Let me start with you, Chibuzo.
Hmm.
Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the outcome and its implication.
No, clearly when Atiku emerged, he sent a clear signal
To the APC.
that they better bring their best foot forward.
Hence the back
Coming
and
into
forth
this.
argument on consensus candidate
Exactly.
or not.
So party stakeholders would have sat down and really reflected on it. If you have to put out somebody, it has to be somebody that can match Atiku clout for clout, goodwill for goodwill,
Money for money.
war chest for war chest, spread for spread, and experience for experience. Now, it's interesting too that these two political titans go way back. They understand themselves like the back of their hands. They were almost in the same political family, if not the same political family. They were both in SDP at some point, and so there's what do I put it now? It's like a yin yang kind of thing for the both of them. So I'm sure this was the major factor that played, in the process that produced Tinubu. So well, it's going to be an interesting political battle to look out for.
Briefly, Silas, the outcome and its implication.
I think that the party members, the delegates, clearly felt that this was the best way for them. That's why they voted en masse that way. I think they feel that that they have a better. If you look at the president's speech, Barry's speech, he said they wanted somebody who would give them a sense of an assurance that they were going to win, and they on their own must have felt that it's Tinubu that can give them that kind of assurance. Okay, because of the better structure, because of his what you have mentioned. Okay, and those who are not members of the party, they may say it differently. I know that Atiku will see the formidable opponent. He will say, but in the states, some people may feel that uh, maybe APC may not have got it right. But those who are inside the party know what they want. They are politicians, they know where the shoe pinches. So they understand this game better than those who are another. But anyway, they are going to present these two people, Atiku and Tinubu, to the public. So it's up to the public to now decide whether the party faithful who voted, the party delegates who voted, got it right or wrong. So between now and election day, this things will play out and
Were you shocked? Were you shocked by anything? Were you shocked? I was actually
perhaps the margin.
okay. The margin, okay.
I would have thought that Toshiba would do a bit
Should be
better
the
than
runner-up.
what he
Runner-up.
did. But
Yeah, the figure shocked me. I thought the
I
vice
was a bit
president
taken aback by
will be
that.
the runner-up in that contest. But then, Tinubu, I said Tinubu, Rotimi Chibuke Amici is not a pushover too. It's not.
Absolutely.
And if you remember the APC, the last APC's primary election, no, in 2019, Buhari was affirmed, was a
Yes,
was
in
a
2019 was
lone
affirmation.
person.
Yes.
So in 2014,
Yes.
ahead of 2015
Yes,
general
yes.
election, you remember people thought Atiku would be runner up to Buhari,
Exactly.
but it was a
Kwankwaso.
Kwankwaso. So you can never say, or
Exactly.
you can never tell.
Exactly.
Yes, of course. What I also saw is that when especially most of the southwest aspirants they just step down, they follow the pattern started by Tamboa. That swung. Also, if all of them were on the ballot, they would have split their votes. Significantly between Fayemi and Mosun, and then and the Shivajo and by the time they split it, even if Tinubu won, it would have been a very tight match. In short, he may not have won. Okay. But when they now stepped down and moved all their support from the one he got from Rivers governor
Kwaibo.
Kwaibom, the one he got from Badaru, and the one he got from Borofis. By the time all of them came to that point, and the vice president didn't have much of a chance.
Oh, Silas.
But if everybody had run, Possibly,
You're not mentioning
possibly.
some other northern states that he got votes.
All right, congratulatory messages are already
Of
pouring
course,
in for
of course,
Tinubu,
of course, of course.
starting with one person that will be his major challenger at the 2023 general election, the PDP's former vice president and presidential candidate Atiku
You're like
Abubakar,
quick
who
propeller.
congratulated Tinubu. Congratulations, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, on your emergence as your party's presidential candidate. It has been a hard-fought contest, but that you prevailed. Confirm your tenacity,
Exactly.
according to Atiku Abubakar on his verified Twitter handle shortly after the emergence of Tinubu
You
today.
couldn't have said it better.
Yeah.
This win shows something. If you want something strong enough, you go for it and you get. If Tinubu had backed out when all of the talk about, oh, this person is the anointed candidate, or let's do a consensus thing, perhaps we wouldn't have
It
done
won't be as real as this, as
exactly.
credible
So
as this.
he stuck to it. He was quite firm, and what has happened now has produced a popular candidate within the APC. So there will be no reason why nobody should back this candidacy going into this.
All right, let's talk to Tinubu supporters. Let me bring in Wale Bakari, coordinator Southwest Agenda for Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. Spokesperson Asiwaju Bola Tinubu Swagger 6. Gentlemen, welcome and thank you for joining us on this special broadcast. Let me start with Comrade Wale Bakari, the coordinator of Swagger 6. Now, Comrade Bakari, your principal is now the presidential standard bearer of APC for the general election 2023. Do you think Tinubu is a match for PDP's Atiku Abubakar?
Yes, good evening, everyone. Permit my voice rather. It's been a lot of shouting about and all that. So at the end of the day, the taste of victory, tastes good. So yes, but back to your question, I feel that it's a well-deserved victory, and I think that he is a major competitor is a major match for Atiku Abubakar. Like you would have observed rightly, during the build-up to the APC convention, there's been a lot of apprehension in our camp, like, oh my God, who can match Atiku? Money for money, intellect for intellect, support for support, crowd for crowd, So, and I think that at the end of the day, the majority of our party, we got what we've always wanted. We got what we deserve. So I have no doubt that don't get me wrong, all of the aspirants that contested that convention, with due respect to all of them, they were all eminently qualified, but only one person can emerge, and the person who emerged is the best. And going by how transparent that process was, it is obvious that it was overwhelmingly supported. It is obvious that Asiwaju remains the most prepared candidate. And of course, I'm sure Atiku must be somewhere beating his head saying, this guy's got it right. So I have no doubt that Asiwaju will make a very good competition for the PDP during the 2023 general elections.
All right, Comrade Bakari, let me ask you this second question. Your principal, the week before the presidential primary this week had a dramatic encounter in Abeokuta, Ogun State, where, he alluded or he claimed he was instrumental to President Muhammadu Buhari's emergence in 2015. And I know you must have seen the presidency's reaction yesterday, claiming that no single person or no single Nigerian can claim glory for Buhari's emergence in 2015. Now I want to ask you, your principal said he has been instrumental to some person's political elevation. Is that enough to want to be Nigeria's president in 2023? Or there are other things we are not aware of?
Thank you very much. I think that statement was taken out of context because there's absolutely nothing Ashwa just said where it was in Abeokuta that hasn't been in the public domain since 2015, right? So we all know this, but I think the problem people had was because he's saying it, and then people are looking at the timing of when he said it. That's what they have issues with. So maybe not necessarily the content, but the timing. Maybe that's what they have issues with. And reacting to the response from the presidency, I went through that statement, and for some reason, if you go through it as well, you realize that they didn't even mention a name. It was like you were responding. It was like a general statement saying no one single person made it. That is also correct. But deep down in our conscience as individual, we know the role each and every one of us played. So if I've played a role, I only myself can tell the world the role that I played. So if Ashwadi is coming out to say, this is the role he played, I don't think it's out of, I mean, he's calling out people he has helped, and he believes that now that he has stuck his gauntlet out, he needs the same people to come through for him. So saying that is just to prick people's conscience to say, look, don't let me down. You know, I need you guys right now. I need your support. And I just want to call you out to say, I've done X, Y, Z for you. And now is the time to reciprocate that gesture. And people, of course, trust the media and people who thrive on propaganda. They like to take that out of context because there's nothing new in that statement that hasn't been in the public domain since 2015. So for me, I think it's perfect.
All right, Comrade Bakari.
I've saw that where we are right now.
Can you hear me? Yeah, you made your point, but stay with me, and Comrade Babajide Akibon too should stay with me. We need to quickly go on a short break, and we'll be back in a second. The discussion is getting interesting. Don't go away.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
Welcome back. It's still a special broadcast on the APC presidential primary, which held here in Abuja in the last 3 days. Now, we've been speaking to officials of Southwest Agenda for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu Swagger 6. I've been talking to Wale Bakari, coordinator of Swagger 6, and Comrade Babajide Akibon, spokesperson of the organization. Now, let me go to the spokesperson, Babajide Akibon. Mr. Akibon, you are the spokesperson of Swagger 6. So, what should we expect from your organization, or it has come to the end of its lifespan, or it will be part of the Tinubu campaign council for the 2023 general election?
My principal said just when he was giving a speech, he said the game just started. So this is just the beginning. Like he said, I think it's high time we begin to sensitize people of who really Tinubu is. You know, the youth of these days really rely on social media to tell them who the social media has actually told them Tinubu is. But, you know, beyond that, we can sensitize them ahead of time to let them know who really Tinubu is. what he has achieved for Nigeria, his major steps that he has taken to ensure that democracy has come to stay, and many more. So like I said, Swagger 6 has come to stay in Nigeria. It's not just all about the movement for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It's also a movement for the development of Nigeria as a whole, and sensitizing of youth and creating leaders for tomorrow.
All right, finally, because of time, what kind of campaign should we expect from you? Issue-based or otherwise? What kind of campaign? Because there are a lot of perception about Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So how will your organization will be able to change the narrative in his favor?
Yes, like I did say earlier, majority of the things they know about Bola Ahmed Tinubu were things that social media has, told them about him. Nobody, especially when he went for the screening process and he was sharing some of his past achievements. That was when I started seeing some youths come on social media to say, wow, they never really knew Tinubu did this. They never really knew Tinubu worked for ExxonMobil. They never really knew Tinubu was an auditor for, and many others that Tinubu himself had become, not just for today, but what he has worked over the years. So we expect to see a president that is ready to solve the problems of an ordinary Nigerian, a president that is ready to develop the economy of Nigeria, a president that is ready to ensure that we all enjoy the benefits and fruits of a democracy, a president that has plans for every single citizen of Nigeria, not just in terms of what they get to eat daily, but in terms of their future. A president that has good plans for the youth and has the youth at heart. To me, this is the best president Nigeria will ever produce in years to come.
All right, I must thank you, Babajide Akimbo, spokesperson, Southwest Agenda for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu Swagger 6, and Comrade Wale Bakari, coordinator of Swagger 6. I must thank you, gentlemen, for your time on this show. Thank you. Well, we need to round up because of time. You have the people close to Tinubu, their perception too, or the perspective they just brought to the program.
Yes, they say what they have to say, and their work is cut out
For them.
very, very cut out. In the campaign, they need to disabuse people's mind to the persona. That the persona of Tinubu that's out there, and it's not a very palatable one. You understand? Whenever I talk to people, talk about the man's source of what you don't know, his history, his shrouded in mystery, his origins, his education,
Exactly.
a lot of things about him.
A lot of
is
perception that
crazy
they need to correct.
and negative. But he said when after the screening, people started seeing so
they never knew he has this intimidating credential.
So they need to play up more and more about the kind of, so that the confidence
People will change.
so people's
perception.
confidence will grow in the Tinubu presidency.
All right, Chibuzo, your last word.
Oh well, we expect to see an interesting tussle in the coming days. But
Interesting.
But we want to have issue-based campaign. You can't say this enough.
Issue-based campaign.
Issue-based.
We don't need violence,
Of
insults,
course,
and the rest
course,
of them.
Yes.
Because Nigeria belongs to all of us.
Issue-based campaign.
Tell us how you're going to solve the problem.
And clear terms.
Actionable plans. Not I will do this. I would like we have the policy. Said, give us actionable work. Timelines, actionable plans. How? Not what. How? We know what the what is. What we need is the how.
But the good thing is, at least these are two people who know how to get the best hands to work
But
with them.
should we reduce the presidential contest to Atiku and
No,
Tinubu?
of course not.
We have 18
No,
political
no,
parties.
Of course
There
not.
is Peter
Of course
Obi.
not.
Peter Obi in
Someone
Labour
is also
Party.
there making
Of
his
Labour
own
Party, and then there's Kwankwaso.
There is Kwankwaso in
hoping to cause an upset in the north.
NNPP.
So,
It's going to be
Not yet, I think.
Okay.
There's still
no, but the reason why
a
we focus
process
on these
in
two
work.
major parties is because
they're very productive.
as it starts,
Nigerians are fixated on them,
not just fixated on
and that's
them,
not too good.
the
They have the
structures
choices.
they have.
But we are limiting our
These other
choices.
parties, no, but it's not as if we want to limit those choices, but we are being realistic.
All
In the political space today, these are the only two parties that have been able to that have party members as elective members across the different political strata in the country.
world level, local
from
government,
what to
states,
way
federal.
up there. So this gives them a lot of mileage. A lot of mileage. Labour Party, I don't think they have much of that. I don't think NPP has much of that.
But
These are
don't forget that
major.
don't forget that when Buhari went to started CPC and broke up for NPP, he came second in that election.
Exactly.
So he had the following. So he didn't win until now merged with.
They have to get
The
along.
ACN
So to have to merge with a structure.
form APC.
So that would be what we count against Obi. Let us have the rest go.
Well, viewers, that's all we have for you this evening. Thank you for being with us from the hour 5 to this moment. I must thank Silas Ezegu and Leadership Politics Editor Chibuzo Okebe for your contributions. My name is Bode Gbadebo. Bye for now.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.